So it's been a little while since we received a substantial update to Samsung's latest flagship line, the Galaxy S23, but that appears as though it is changing very, very imminently with what is being called the June Super Update now apparently rolling out. I've been checking for that update on my device this morning, and unfortunately it is still as of yet to arrive, but that won't stop me from talking about it because here on Sam Mobile via this Twitter user, the one Sid, I guess, C-I-D, Sid, maybe that's how you pronounce that, we have a changelog, and it is relatively brief despite the fact that this update is apparently 2.2 gigabytes. That is very, very large. Let's run through these very quickly. There is now a 2x zoom option in the camera's portrait mode, in the camera app's portrait mode. So this is an interesting change because it allows you to sort of change that focal length in your portrait mode. Perhaps you were trying to pinch and get to 2x. Now there should just be a button that'll get you straight to that. Personally, I usually just end up using 1x for portrait mode, but again, if you zoom in a little bit, that does change that focal length and might be a little bit more flattering to the subject that you are then photographing. People often underestimate how much of a difference it makes on the shape and appearance of your face when you change that focal length. So adding that 2x zoom, of course, that is going to be a digital crop, but that still should be totally fine. A lot of OEMs do this exact same thing, so good to have there. The camera autofocus issue has been solved. Now, this is very, very vague. Of course, I've talked about it on this very channel. The fact that these Samsung S23 devices do still kind of maintain that same motion blur issue that a lot of other ones have had. I did a little test with a table and I rolled a ball across the table, phone, and a tripod, trying to take a picture as it rolls by, comparing that to the Pixel 7 Pro. And the Pixel 7 Pro consistently kept that ball in better focus. And I know lots of people have said, use Pro mode, set your ISO, do all these things. That's not something anybody's going to typically do. You're going to want to shoot in auto and keep moving subjects in focus. Is this what they're referring to when they say autofocus? Or are they referring to some other issue that I've not really seen where perhaps the device is struggling to focus on a stationary object, maybe focus hunting? I've not seen that. Maybe you have. Drop a comment down below. Definitely need to see what exactly we're talking about here. Moving on, the camera's night mode processing is slightly different than earlier. I don't know what that means either. What does different mean? Is that better? I guess we're hoping that it's better, but that's just a weird phrasing. So perhaps some sort of improvements to the night mode or some tweaking to the way that things appear, the processing speed, all of these things are possible. One UI animations and transitions are now smoother. That's definitely a good thing to have. Personally, I don't think that they're altogether not smooth currently, but smoother is always better. Let's keep creeping towards what I believe to probably be widely accepted as the creme de la creme of smooth animations, which is iOS. Let's get closer and closer to that. There are subtle improvements to the haptics. Again, not an issue I've had where I thought the haptics were bad, but some subtle improvements there are apparently to be had. Now, they do mention in this article that a couple of weeks ago, Samsung had a statement talking about improvements they were going to make to their HDR. Here's an example. In very particular situations, you get this weird haloing effect around objects. And in this tweet from Ice Universe, Samsung developers said they were solving this problem. I reckon if you translate that, improvements are in progress and will be included with the next version. So perhaps that's in there as well. This changelog is quite brief, 2.2 gigabytes. There's going to be things in this that they're not calling out in the changelog. So let me know in the comments if you spot more things that aren't mentioned in there. Go ahead and search for that update. Perhaps you have it. All you got to do is go into your settings, go down to software update, download and install. And hopefully you'll have more luck than I am and it'll actually be there available for you to download. Again, check that out, get that installed. Let me know if you spot anything else. And of course, I'll be keeping you guys updated as this does actually hit my phone. We'll be doing some autofocus tests and comparisons to the prior version to see if any changes are noticeable there by me in the most objective of tests that I can come up with. Guys, subscribe for more content like this. I'll see you in the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.